Part 1. Player unlocking the garden, you would want to make sure you have at least 2 collections close to max out, as they help to increase efficiency and the maximum amount of crops you can get from each harvest. The first one is pumpkins, as there's 2 major armor pieces which help to give significantly high farming fortune compared to what I currently have, melon armor, which is unlocked at a later stage at farming 25. So first of all, we have the lantern helmet. It's very good for doing pumpkins and any axe based crops such as melons, and as it gives that 1 farming fortune per level, which stacks up to around at my level 25, which is better than my 15 farming fortune for the melon helmet, whilst being half the cost. Second, from the pumpkin collection, we have the rancher boots, being a bit more on the expensive side on 5 million, but it allows you to efficiently farm crops, as crops such as sugarcane, pumpkins and melons. You can use a max speed cap to make sure you get through your farm as quickly as possible. But for a carrot farm, which may involve water as your source to get more than 1 crop at a time, you would want it typically at 192, which I have for my carrot farm over here. The second one, which I've already mentioned, is the melon armor. It's the base tier and the initial tier for fermento armor, which has unlocked at farming 40, but it's a major upgrade from what you get from previous farming armors, such as the farm armor, which you get from the wheat collection. However, the melon armor is quite expensive, as one, it is 250,000 melons, but also is the total of about 120 enchanted melon, which is equal to almost 6 million. So it's either through lots of grinding or having a lot of money. 2 is visitors. They may seem as a waste, as visitors such as Reese ask for obscure items such as jack-o'-lanterns for only 2 copper, but if you get a good one like Rusty, who normally typically gives, I've had 35 copper from, or the farmhand, which gives 10k farming experience and 11 copper, it's normally a good investment, as equipment such as the Lotus Belt and the Lotus Bracelet give bonus farming fortune as a baseline, but also per visitor, which is very useful, as these can be done for as little as 100k and are very worth it for the later run. Final tip on today's video is equipment, and most importantly the tools needed. Realistically, you can go between 2 tools as all you need for a baseline if you're not quite low on money. For example, I have a melon dicer 2.0, but you can have a regular melon dicer, so it's a lot cheaper, being 2 million rather than the 9 million of the melon dicer 2.0. Also, I'd advise getting some sort of hoe, particularly I'd probably get a wheat hoe, as it's the base one, but as you can apply lots of turbo enchants onto it. Speaking of enchants, there are specific enchants which are really cheap right now, such as Sunder 6 being significantly less than Sunder 5. So Sunder 5 gives 62.5 farming fortune, and Sunder 6 gives 75. That is 12.5 farming fortune for 298,000 less coins. So it's a major investment, especially if you plan to do any melon, pumpkin, or any of that farming using an axe. Additionally, putting on as many of especially if you don't want to invest in all the hoes and all the crop specific tools, getting as many turbo 4s, I think, are very good for progression, and especially as you don't need to spend as much. So Turbo 4 is only a requirement of bronze, which is a lot easier than what you can expect as melon farming is quite competitive, dealing about upwards of 100k for a silver or 60,000, compared to mushrooms, which you typically need about 30 or 25,000. So it's definitely worth getting as many Turbo 4 books as you can to make sure you get the full farming fortune on every crop you farm. That's it for today's video. There's probably going to be another one on a different part or another part of the garden. See you later.